That is one fat ditch. That ditch is so fat. I hate that freaking ditch. This ditch is freaking hard. This ditch is mean. That's a mean ditch. Ugh, what a ditch! This is one of the toughest ditches I've ever dealt with. This is not an easy ditch. Of all the ditches out there in this world, this is the ditch I get stuck with. Life's a ditch, then you die. Now that's a good looking ditch right there. Woo, what a ditch. Oh, she broke my heart. That ditch broke my heart. This freaking ditch is a Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm Josh with Blackberry Ridge, and today we are trying to finish up this waterline ditch that most of you have probably seen so far on the channel. You're probably thinking, waterline ditch? That was like 8 videos ago or something. Well, you're right, it was. But we had to wait on a few things, a couple things really. The first one being cable, and the second one being more electricity. So the cable company wanted to be in this ditch above the water. So we backfilled over the top of our water line. I'll show you that here in a minute. Well, you won't be able to see it because the water line's no longer visible. And then we gave full rights to the cable company, told them to get after it. And then we came back. Sorry, I'm out of breath. This is an uphill walk. I'm chasing a dump truck right now. But the cable company finally came and did their thing. And then we have a gate all the way from the barn, all the way back down that road to the front of the property where we are needing power for said gate. So we have laid our power in the other side of the ditch. And before all of you start on saying, A, you shouldn't put power in a ditch with water, and B, you shouldn't put power in a ditch with cable, we have the cable on one side of the ditch, we have the power on the other side of the ditch, we're hand digging them in, and we are putting plenty of separation between the two so they won't talk. Secondly, the water, well, there is no other option. So the water is below, so if there is a problem, hopefully it won't ever get up to the power, which is pretty close to the surface. There's probably close to 2 feet of separation between the two, the water being 2 feet deeper than the power. So anyways, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I'm getting ready to talk to said dump truck driver, and we're gonna figure out where we're gonna get our last load of sand, and then I'll give you a quick look at the ditch, and then we'll get a shovel and rake in our hand and just get back after it so you can see us sweat. So stand by. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to be pretty quick with talking with you guys. I know a bunch of you insert eye roll right there because nothing I ever have to say is quick. But we got storm clouds a brewing, and it's supposed to rain tonight, and I got to get this done. So before this rain starts, because I don't want it to wash out. So I'm gonna be real quick, show you what we've done up to this point, what we're doing now, all that good stuff. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, what we have here, I don't even know if you've seen this part of the ditch or not, But this is actually bringing water into the barn from that main line ditch, which you saw about 17 videos ago. I don't know how long ago it was. But anyways, so what we have done is we have taken and ran from the end of our 4-inch line, we reduced down to 1-inch pecks. And we put 1-inch pecks on down there. And we have gone, as you can see, before anybody starts freaking out, you can see I've bedded it with sand. And I've bedded over the top of what has been covered up already. There's 8 inches of bedding material on top of that before I ever even pushed this crap back on top. So what you also see in the ditch is you see the conduit for the cable line, and you see our direct bury electrical line. Now, I have mixed feelings about the direct bury electrical, as I'm sure a lot of you are going to as well, but it is what it is, and you can always tone out an electrical line and should be able to solve somewhat easily if there's an interruption or anywhere, be able to find that somewhat easily. The problem is you have to dig it up, and the problem with that is that stuff sucks. So we had our chipping hammer here, which you heard in the background of the last video. That guy spent 3 days here chipping on this already pre-dug line. 3 days of just straight chipping. It was, this last PEX run is 100 feet. It took him 1 solid day, maybe a little day and a half of just this 100 feet. So that's pretty nuts. But as you can see, the water line is turning back in to my water kick out over there underneath, or through the footing over there. And then we have our cable is already buried there, running up to the sidewall of the building. And then we have to dig this in right here on a trench next to it up to the sidewall of the building to tap into the breakers on the other side, like I said before, to run our gate. So let's briefly walk down this ditch. I will turn the camera back on whenever I get somewhere to kind of show you what we've done. And when I say this ditch, I mean we're going back to the 4-inch water line part, where we've already bed over the top of it and this stuff's laying in the hole. So hang on a second. So one quick thing, the connection for the PEX line to the, sorry, I'm like pointing with my finger that you can't see. The connection, once again, you can see my bedding material and then the backfill. So people just calm down. My PEX line is connected. That connection is right here. There is a cast iron fitting reducer that goes on to the end of that blue pipe, and it is made up with brass fittings that connect to the 1-inch PEX, which is then going to reduce again at the barn down to 3/4, because we are simply just have 1 bathroom and just some hose bibs, some silcocks to fill livestock buckets and stuff like that. Our goal is to have well water. A ton of comments have been about well water, so let me address that. The well water is in our plans. We definitely want to do that. I think it's a great idea. I would love that. However, most of the time in Oklahoma, the well water is not potable without a lot of filtration. I don't want to rely on that solely. It would be a fantastic backup, and we intend to have that backup, but it's really good for, you know, livestock and irrigation and keeping ponds full, that kind of stuff. So that's what we intend to do with the well water. And if worse comes to worse, we need it in a pinch, we could always have it potable. You can always make it potable, right? You can always boil it, treat it, those types of things yourself. But if you want to run it through your whole house, showers and all that kind of stuff, you have to put in a filtration system. I have done that now on several occasions in my home building projects in my business. We build custom homes out on people's property, and they want to be on well water, or they can't get to city water without a massive expense. So we put in the filtration system, put in the tanks, the whole 9 yards. It's a you dedicate an entire room in the garage for it, it can be a very big expense. So it's one of those things that we would like to have, but we certainly don't want to just have to rely on that system. So redundancy is great, right? So we're this is kind of a good spot to maybe get an idea of what's going on. So let me turn the camera around as I'm talking. Okay, so here we have where you can see our cable line is laying on top. Come right down here, and then over here on the other far side of the ditch you see the electrical, and then literally 2 feet below that is our blue water line. So we put the blue water line in, we put the backfill over the top of it, pressure tested it. That was fun, by the way. Someday I'll have to tell you about how much fun that was. Speaking of being a bad ditch, that pressure test sucked. So we pressure tested it. We pressure tested the 4-inch water line that's down there, and then we probably put another foot or foot and a half of bedding material back over the top of that, and then we've added fluff so that we could bury that in, and then we've buried over the top of that. So we've got everything insulated, separated. We feel good about everything. We're just kind of rolling with the punches here, and we're trying to beat some rain. So I'm gonna get back to work. Jay's on the tractor. I'm working the manual labor crew today, or for right now. I was on the tractor this morning before lunch. We went to lunch, and I gave him the tractor afterwards, and I've been running the rake and the shovel all afternoon trying to work off lunch. So I'm gonna stop talking because I'm just rambling. So, I mean, watch me work. So, just in case you're asking yourself, what has Josh done? See how pretty and raked out, well, kind of raked out, this ditch is? Yeah, he dumps it, I rake it. That's what's been happening. I had to go get my daughter, Pippa, the YouTube sensation, Pippa, from school, so I'm falling behind. But I am all the way up to where I dropped my rake right up here, and that's where I'm going to continue, and you can watch me go from there. So, I think it's kind of funny. I'm not very talented at getting work done and filming. So, I don't get a whole lot of filming done when I'm actually working. I actually get annoyed. I get annoyed by the thought of having to film while I really need to get something done. So, that's why you see the camera sitting in my face a lot, is because I can't do two things at one time. Typical man, huh? But it's funny to me how much flack is given to me over that fact. So I guess you're gonna sit here and be bored and watch me work, but I could definitely see how people get tired of listening to me talk, like right now. Crap. My boot's stuck in this quicksand. Don't lose your shoe. Okay. Ah, so hot. Easy now, Tim. I'm just taking my coat off. See, I don't like that right there. We're going to come back to that. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. You know where the little spade is? The little trench spade? I think I'm going to have to force that down.
That's what I think. I think you got to get underneath it.
And then I think we're going to have to put rocks on top of it.
I almost wondered if concrete needs to be poured all around that. But maybe not today.
Well, the problem right now is that it's higher than the bottom lip of the culvert.
Right.
So any of this coming here is going to be a problem.
Yeah,
and we definitely don't want that exposed. So we might have to pour a little spillway off of that.
That's what I was looking at that, seeing that. I think it's going to need a continued culvert.
Or you know what we could do? We are bringing all that gravel in here for the road on Monday.
Make it basically a riprap kind of thing.
Yep, exactly. Although this really could get flowing pretty good.
Yeah, it could. That's why I felt like we probably were going to end up having to pour some concrete around it, but yeah, the little I don't know, the shovel's probably up close to the barn. You need me to go?
No, I think I'm just going to make that work for now. We'll see how this does after the rain tonight.
Yeah, it'll wash out.
And that'll tell us everything. It's going to wash it out for sure.
Yeah. Should we go ahead and put a few like football-sized rocks and just make it, maybe break it up and slow it down?
That's probably.
Yeah, I think make our own riprap right there.
Not a bad idea.
That,
oh, I about walked out of my boot.
Yep. Yep.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Damn.
Ah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, who needs true riprap when you've got Blackberry Ridge rocks? So I don't know, I don't remember how much of all of that was on camera, but the problem we had is the culvert lip is way down from the top of the road. So we're extra deep here with our water line, but by the time we bedded and then put our cable and electrical in, we're right at the bottom of the lip. So we just barely had to get underneath it. You saw me maybe dig a little bit of a trench through here to stuff the wire and conduit and everything down in that. And then we have the problem of washout. So we came up with the riprap idea, and hopefully this will hold. We'll probably find out tomorrow, because I think it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. The only other solution, if this does not hold, is to get some bags of ready mix, and which we do have up there. We could do right now, but I think we're running short on time, so we'll see how this does and maybe do that in the future. But pour us a little concrete spillway here and protect that erosion and that washout, and everything's going right through there. We're eventually going to make a pond in there. So I got to get back to it. Jay's going to yell at me. Well, we gave it our best shot. I don't know if you can see, storm clouds are coming. It's dark. Of course, you've got the boss barn all lit up so you can see really well, but we didn't get done. We got a lot done today. We feel like we're in a good spot for if it does rain a lot, we won't have any washout. And I think it's at least one more good hard day on Petey the tractor all day to try to finish. At least. There is so much to do, and that tractor's slow. It's not near like the skid steer you guys saw me running. It just takes time. So probably a whole nother day of running that thing. Maybe we'll do it Friday or over the weekend or something, because I think my dad's trying to put the road in on Monday. Hopefully he'll record it, or my mom will record him, because we all know he won't record it. Anyways, we are gonna get out of here for tonight. It's dark. It's past my bedtime. Not really, but it's coming up on it. And yeah, so I'm out of here. So until the next video, until you see me again, don't forget Montana's coming up. I'm gonna have to film some videos so that I can have them. I don't even know why do I ramble? Anyways, we'll see you next time. Montana's coming up on the ridge.